Let me set. Okay, so today we have lab like one manager, okay, and two worker nodes, and one more machine or server with Ubuntu installed on it. So Docker is not installed on the fourth one. Okay, so we have one manager, two worker nodes, and one more Linux server that has Ubuntu installed, but Docker is not installed. So we are going to use this server as a external volume. So we will create a file or whatever. It might be your location, or you can say a file location where you want to store your data that is generated via your uh, application or uh, web application, or might be your SQL data. Okay, so we will store the data, so it will be your storage server. Okay, and a storage server means you can use NFS or any type of storage driver, but it depends upon you. Here I am going to use a plugin that is VIUX FF SSHFS. Okay, so I will show you how to configure that. So before that, let me show you how to lock and unlock your swarm. Okay, so sorry, this is my manager node. Okay, and if I just do docker node ls, so this is the manager, and other two
Sir,
are
uh, sir,
workers.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
We cannot use screen. I mean,
yes.
we cannot. Can you please share your screen?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I forgot to share my screen. So now, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can. It is visible.
Okay, so today's setup is like this. I think. Yes, so we have one manager node, okay, and two worker node. And actually, I was showing over here we have one server that is only Ubuntu install on it. Okay, Docker is not installed. So this server is going to work as a storage server, you can say. Okay, and we are going to store our file on this server. So all the tasks or containers will be run on these manager and workers, but our files are going to store on the third one, that is storage server. Okay, so we will make it as a storage server. So this is not in the cluster. Okay, it is an external server. We are just going to log into this. So before starting, I will show you first how to lock and unlock your swarm. Okay, so we have a simple commands to lock and unlock your swarm. So if you I have already initialized the swarm, right? So if I want to some make some changes on in swarm, so I have to update it, right? So by default, I can give this flag while initializing the swarm, but at that time I haven't given. So if I do Docker swarm help, you can see init. Okay, so Docker swarm init, and then if I use hyphen hyphen help, you can see here auto lock. Okay, so I can use this flag while initializing my swarm, but if I means later on, if at that time I haven't given, so I can make it, I can enable it after that. Okay, so for that I have this update command. Okay, so Docker Swarm, instead of init, we have already initialized. So we are, whatever the changes we want to made over here, we have to use this update command. Okay, so I want to use Docker Swarm and then update, and I want to update auto lock equal true. Okay, so if I hit enter, so Swarm is updated, and it gives us a string. So this is a unlock string. Okay, so this this is very important. You must store it on a encrypted somewhere on your storage where you store your passwords. Okay, because if you lose this string, you cannot unlock your swarm. Okay, so let me save it over here, and yes, it is in a single line. So let me save it first, because last time I just unlock swarm. So if I just forget this string, we are not able to unlock it. So now Docker swarm is locked. Okay, so you can see here it is also written, please remember to store this key in a password manager, since without it you will not be able to restart the manager. Okay, so somehow this manager has been crashed, or this swarm is not working, and you want to restart your daemon, it is not going to work. Okay, so even I cannot run node ls or something. Okay, if I just restart the service. So if I do docker stop, sorry, it should be sudo system ctl stop docker. It's my cloud user, and if I start it again, and so now you can see, if I just restarted my docker daemon, you can see the error response for daemon: swarm is encrypted and need to be unlocked before it can be used. Okay, so we cannot actually restart the manager. So if my by chance this node goes down, or it is restarted, this server somehow, some due to some hardware failure, it restarted, so you cannot start your daemon. Means it will be started, but you cannot run any management commands over here. Like if I want to see the list of my nodes, I cannot do it. First I have to unlock it. Okay, so the same command, docker swarm unlock, and here I need that unlock key, that is, this is the string. So if I paste over here and hit enter, now if I run the command, I can. Okay, so this is the command to unlock and lock and unlock your swarm. And somehow right now the swarm is unlocked in unlocked state. Okay, so if you somehow forget your the unlock key, you can recover it using this command docker swarm unlock key. Okay, but uh, in this case it will work only if you have unlocked your swarm first. Okay, if it is locked you cannot run this command. Okay, and same thing, if you think like your this unlock key is compromised, you can rotate it. It means you can change it. Okay, so the command is docker swarm unlock key hyphen rotate. Okay, so it will give us a new key. So this is a new key, and now this key will not work anymore. Okay, so we have to use this new unlock key, and the condition is same. You to rotate the unlock key, your swarm must be in unlock state. Okay, if it is locked you cannot rotate and you cannot see your unlock key. It should be in unlocked state. So I have unlocked. So if I again want to lock it, again I will run the command docker swarm update, or auto lock is work when you just restart your docker daemon. Okay, swarm is updated. So now it will work because it is already in unlocked state, but we have auto locked is true. So whenever the docker daemon is restarted, then you have to unlock your swarm. Okay, so right now if I run command docker swarm unlock key, it will work. Okay, because we have not restarted a daemon. So again if I do docker sudo systemctl stop docker. Okay, and again if I start it, so now it is logged. Okay, so now if I run command docker swarm unlock key, so swarm is encrypted and needs to be unlocked before it can be used. So now we cannot use a swarm. Okay, because it is locked. So auto lock is when it the docker daemon will restart, or when it will restart it might be you explicitly restart it, or due to some hardware failure your node got restarted. In that case, by default it will be in locked state. You have to unlock to work on it. So if I again run docker uh, node ls, it will not work. Okay, so I have to again unlock it. So whenever your docker daemon will restart it, you have to unlock your swarm first. So now we have already rotated our key, so I have to use the new key. Okay, so first hit enter and then paste the new key and hit enter. Okay, so now I can use our swarm. Okay, that's it. So this is how to lock your and unlock your swarm. Okay, and now let's go to the next part, that is service. Okay, so why we need service, right? So in swarm actually service is a main thing. If your docker is running in a swarm, it means everything you want to run it as a service, because service is a multiple task that is running containers, means it is like containers for the same thing. So if you have application that you want to run in a multiple instance of an application, in that case you need a service, okay, and it will be automatically uh, managed by your Docker Swarm. So, on which node your service should be start, and if something happen to one node, it will be automatically migrated or moved to the other node that is working. Okay, so those things are managed by Docker Swarm. So, if you want to utilize the Docker Swarm, you have to create a service. Okay, and service is a collection of tasks, and it is a same or same task, okay, and that's called actually replicas. So you need you have a application and you want to make a replica of it, okay, so that it can be handle more, what is called means, if it is a web application, means it can handle a more request, okay. So it depends upon your application or how it works. So let's create a simple service, and command is same: docker service create, and I need a image that you want to create as a service. So docker service create nginx. So this is a simple service, okay, that I am going to create. So right now I haven't given any replica, so by default it will create with one replica. Okay, so this is one task that is created. So this is called task, okay, this one. So if I run docker service ls, you will find one task. So these are the old one, okay. So we have created in the last session, okay, and this one is that we have just created. You can see replica one by one replicated. Mode is replicated, means, and name we have not given any name, so it is an random name, okay. And here as a docker run, in docker run actually we run only a single instance of or single container of any image, but here we can run multiple containers of a single image, okay. And again, as a container, we can also expose this service and we can give the name to the service, okay. So let's do one thing: create some service with replica as well, okay. So docker service create, and again if you want to give name, you can, like my web app, okay. And I want this application to be replicated, three replica of this application. So hyphen replica is 3, and I want to expose port 8080 on my host and 80 to in the container. So port 8080 colon 80, and the image name is nginx. So at the end it is a image name using which our service is going to run. So now you can see here 1 by 3, 2 by 3, and 3 by 3. Okay, so overall progress 3 out of 3 tasks. So service is a collection of tasks. So here it is called a task. One is task. So there are 3 tasks running in this
Tarun,
service.
Tarunji,
And actually, yes.
your screen is not visible. Sincere, are you able to see the screen?
Okay, let me reshare.
Yeah.
Now,
Now, now also it's not visible. Should I rejoin the session?
No,
I
Sarabjit,
think
it
because
was visible earlier. Now it got, I mean, now it has become invisible for us. Earlier it was clear and visible,
okay,
visible and clear. I think
okay,
there
okay. Let me just
issue with this.
okay. Let me try once again. Now
Now also, sir,
is it good?
no
No, no, Sarabjit, we cannot see your screen.
screen is not visible.
Hmm, I'm not sure, but I think so. Check now.
No, Sarabjit.
Is still not visible?
No,
No.
no, not visible.
Okay. So let me check from my side. My internet is working. So, Caesar, can you also try rejoining the session? If it works for you, then let's see. Otherwise, I will rejoin.
Okay, let's do it in that way.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. We can do it in that way. I mean, we can all unjoin and let's join once again.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think now it should be visible.
No, sir, now also it's not visible.
Really. Now check.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Oh, I think it was from my side. So I have just rejoined.
Okay.
Yeah. So where you guys left out? So you have seen this Docker service.
Yeah, we missed when you wrote that code, Docker service command create hyphen f name.
Right, like when image name only. Okay, so I've just created a service with nginx, and I have not specified any replica. How many replicas should be run of this nginx image? So by default it will create one replica. Okay,
Okay.
so you can see your service using Docker Service LS. So this is the new service that is created. Okay, and the next time what I have done is I have used some flags, like here you can see name is randomly taken by or given by the Docker daemon. Okay, so here I have given a name that is explicitly from my side. It is my web app. Okay, so this is the service name. I have not given
Yeah,
a
Sarabjit,
container name.
Sarabjit, sorry to interrupt. I cannot see your
Mhm.
screen clearly. So, Chris,
Again,
can you, yeah, Chris, you can see the screen of Sarabjit?
Yes, I am able to see.
No, I cannot. I don't know
so
what's wrong.
I think now you should rejoin once again. Might be issue. So is
Yes,
it visible?
yes, now it is. Thank you.
Okay. So this Docker service create, and then I have given the name that is my underscore web app, and I want three replica of this service, or not the service, actually the image that I am running. So I need three replica of this image under this service. Okay. So you give service actually provide you to run a single image with a multiple container. Okay, or multiple instance of a single image, or single, it might be your single image that you have created. Okay, so mostly it is for load balancing, as well as uh, if something happens to one node, it should be migrated to other one. Okay, so here I have given three, and the same way we exposed our image containers while running command docker run. In the same way we can expose the port of the service over here as well. So port 8080 on your host and 80 in the container, and this is the last one is the image using which these three tasks will be running. Okay, so these three tasks are running. So now if I want to check the running containers under this service, okay, so service name is my web app. So these are the three containers that are running. Okay, so how it's renamed as my web dot one dot two dot three, and this is the node, actual node on which these containers are running. Okay, so this is the name of your service, and these are the ID of container. Okay, because
So,
the service ID is this one.
I have it on for you. See, I got a question over. See, the reason of using service is that we can host multiple containers, right?
Yes, we can host multiple containers of a single image.
So, when you gave replicas three, I understood we create. I mean, we created three containers from Nginx images, right? So,
Yes.
so basically, what other commands we can use with the service? I mean, with the Docker service, except I mean, what are the users? I mean, what are the use of service other than this using multiple content? I mean, instead of creating multiple containers, what other things you can serve?
No, this is the main reason we have to use service.
Okay,
Okay,
so this
because
is the reason.
just for what is called means load balancing your application. Okay, so that
Okay.
it can be run on multiple nodes, and it is highly available. Okay, because initially we are running a container on a single node. Okay, and if something happened to that node, your container will be gone, right? But here, why we need three replicas? So that we can uh, load balance our application. Okay, and
Now,
why we
now
are in a
these three containers are in same node or are they are in a different node?
no, those are on different nodes. So here you can say node is this one is on 2C, one is on 1C, and third one is 3C. So these are distributed by the daemon. So that is the daemon responsibility, Docker daemon, to distribute the workload, okay, on your in your cluster. So there the that thing comes means you don't have to uh, manually choose on which node this container should be run. Those things are decided by Docker daemon or Swarm.
So
Okay.
I should have 3 or 4 nodes available with me to run this Docker service.
Yes, if
Um,
you need more than one
node.
node. Yes, because if you are creating a cluster, it means like you have
Third,
more than one servers. Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
this is just an example. Otherwise, in one cluster, it depends upon your workload. If one cluster has more workload, you are going to add more nodes. Okay, so here right now, let's see, we don't have much workload, so we have only two worker nodes. In future, if there are more workload on this cluster, I will just add a new node, and I can make it as a worker node. And if something related to management, like we have more nodes, and in case of the number of nodes is increasing,
Mm,
our management will also increase, right? So in that case, if you want to add more managers, okay, so you can also add that manager as well.
okay,
So it
thank
depends
you.
upon your workload, mainly on your workload. Okay.
We don't need to include Swarm over here. We can do it by Docker service. I mean, we don't need to initialize the Docker Swarm in order
Yes,
to.
swarm is just on the first time. Okay, you just
Okay.
use Docker Swarm at the first when you are initializing your cluster. Okay,
Oh,
so on
mm,
which node you run Docker Swarm init, okay,
mm-hmm, mm,
that node will become manager, the first
yes.
manager in your cluster. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm,
what you do is you just add another nodes, and it depends upon you are adding as a manager or as a worker node. Okay, so mostly in a cluster, we must have at least three manager node, and
mm-hmm,
no constraint on worker nodes, because it
mm,
depends upon your workload. Okay,
yes.
as many
Yes.
you can add your how many workers do you want. It depends upon workload. Okay,
Yes.
but
Got.
for manager, if it is a small cluster, start with three, at least three, because of the quorum. If some one manager goes down, so there will be quorum will be good. Okay, otherwise if the quorum is lost, then you will
Mm-hmm,
lost your cluster. Okay,
okay. Yes.
so I have discussed this quorum part in the last session, so you can just visit the watch your the old session video. Okay, record session.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah, welcome. So here we have created a service. Okay, and to check the task on which node your tasks are running. Okay, to check that, you have to run Docker service and then ps and the name of your service. Okay, and if I again do over here Docker service ls, so it will display all the services that are running on this cluster, in this cluster. So we have this my web service, and it has a replica of 3, and here you can see 3 out of 3. It means we this is the desired state, and we are in the desired state. Okay, so if 3 and then 2 out of 3 means one replica is missing. So if something happened to one node, and this container goes down or it is not available, so it will change to 2 out of 3. And when it will change to 2 out of 3, Docker daemon will Docker Swarm will automatically detect that thing, and it will create the another task on any available or active node. Okay, so here you can see Docker node ls. So this is called availability active. So this should be inactive. Your node should be inactive. If it is active, then only your Swarm will assign tasks to these nodes. Okay, so we have actually three or four active: drain and pause. Okay, so down means it is completely down, and if it is drain, it means if you want some maintenance on a node, you can drain it, so that the uh, the tasks that are running on that node will be migrated to somewhere else. Okay, in the cluster. And if it is in pause state, it means the tasks those are running on that container will be there, but no new task will be assigned to that node. So we have three: active, drain, and pause. Okay, three availability: active, drain, and pause. Active means Docker Swarm will assign new tasks to it. Okay, and drain means it will, if it is in drain state, it will move the existing task to other nodes. Okay, and if it is in pause, it will, uh, the Docker Swarm will not assign new tasks to it, but the existing task will be running on that node if it is in pause. Okay, so this is the difference between pause and drain. Okay, so in drain you can actually uh, remove that node from the cluster as well. And another one is down means, it means your node is not up. It means the Docker daemon is not running on that node. Okay, got it. So let's go ahead and do some more stuff using service. So we can actually give some environment variables to this service. Okay, so that it can mostly use for identification. Okay, so let me create a new service. So it might be Docker service, create and name. I can give any name, my new service, and replica, let's say 2. And here I am giving an environment variable, and that is node underscore host name. So this is the environment variable name, node underscore host name. And I want to define a value over here. So this is actually a template called go based on go template. So it depends upon service. So dot node dot host name, it is a variable that will be replaced. Okay, so on which node this the task of this service will be running, so it will automatically replace this host name with that name of that node. Okay, so you can understand if I just run this service, and I will show you how it works. So I have created uh, okay, template expansion, executing expansion at .NET cannot be evaluated field host name. So I think I have written yes. So host name, it should not be like this. It is like this. Okay, host name. Again, any issue? No. So we have two replica, and it will be automatically distributed to the different node.
So, sir,
Okay, so
I have a question. So,
yes,
here replica, you gave the environment variable, and the environment variable is the host name of that particular node, right? So, after
yes,
that, with curly bracket, you mentioned dot node dot host name. So, what is that?
yes.
Is that the node name or what? Yes, that is.
Actually, this is a template. So in any service, you can provide some templates or environment variable. So it defined in the template. Okay. So here you can see if when I have used the wrong temp name. Okay. So then it was given an error that template executing expansion at dot host name cannot evaluate field name host name. So this is a template in the while creating a service. Okay,
Okay.
so if I just show you the real thing how it is working, then you will understand. So now, so this host name is the environment variable. Okay, that is going to assign to this task. Okay, means in this container, it's a new environment variable that is going to generate it, and the value will be different. So how it is going to uh, define, like on which node it is running, it is defined by this template. So this is a actually go template. Okay, so we are providing a variable, it means a node, and I know I need the host name of that node on which this task is running. Okay, so on which node this task, like it might be this task is running on somewhere else and this task is running on different node. So it will assign that node name to those containers. So if I run docker service ps and the name of the service is my new, I think I have written the name is like weird. So it's a typo here. Okay, so here you can see this is on 2c and this is on 3c. So this is the node name. Okay, so this variable in the container, it will be assigned this value node, it means host name. Okay, node, and then I need the host name of the, and where it defined is actually defined in the template. Okay, so you have to learn that template. Right now I'm not going to the what is template, but it is actually a go template that is already structured. Okay, when you are installing that docker daemon. Okay.
Okay, Sarabjit, like
Yes.
see here while defining an environment variable, you gave hyphen hyphen e and b. I saw in Kata code while defining or while declaring the environment variables, we used to put only hyphen e. So does the sub commands in Docker vary from environment to environment?
No, no, actually that is the same. You can use hyphen e or hyphen e and b, it depends. It doesn't mean, I
Also,
mean,
like,
yes, yes, this is
yes,
similar. This
also
is
like
similar.
like creating a container. I've seen
Hmm.
in many examples it is hyphen hyphen namespace, the name of the container, and in some I've seen hyphen name is equal to the name of the container. So the
Yes,
both will work, right?
yeah, both will work. So I can also run like this docker run hyphen n and then the name of the container. This is like this. Okay, and if I want
Yeah,
to give full name, then I have to run write like this, and I can write like this as well. Okay, so this is the multiple way you can run your commands, but
yeah,
every commands is going to work the same way. Okay, so
yeah.
here I want to see the whole environment variable of this container. Okay. Oops. So docker execute, and then I want to see the environment variable of this container. So the command is print env. Okay, it will print all the environment variable of this container. No such container. 1 minute. Okay, let me do docker ps. So here you can see 2 minutes. So no, actually this is on 2c. Okay, this container is running on 2c, and this is actually a task. So this is not the uh, container id. Okay, so I have to go uh, to c to check that. So let me go to this second one. Just give me 1 minute. I am logging to c. Okay, so this is the 2C. So that container is over here. So here you can see 6 minutes ago. That is the latest one. So if I copy this docker execute and then print env. Okay, so here this is the new environment variable that we have set up while creating the service, and this is a dynamic assignment, so that we have to use this dot node dot host name. Okay, otherwise, if I hard coded it, if it is running on the different node, it will not going to replace. Okay, that's why we have to use this go template. And I think in future I will show you in Katakota there are multiple uh, times they have used this template. Okay.
Yes, but it is. I mean, on my part, it has become really hard to understand. There are many things.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yes,
Yeah, I have also sometimes I am not able to understand, but that thing is very difficult. But just remember that is a Go template to get something from your node. Okay,
yes,
so here it will just replace this dot node dot name to the node on which your container is running. Okay, so here it is replaced with the host name, that is, if I just do host name over here, so this is the host name and it is assigned to this one. And the same way, if I just go to 3C, you will find the ops. So I have to replace this 3C. So again, if I do docker ps, so docker execute, and this one that is 9 minutes ago, and print env. So here it is replaced with 3C. Okay, so whenever you are using a dynamic assignment, you have to use go template. Okay, and to know more about, you have to search the docs.docker.com. Okay, so now I think to remove a service, the same command docker rm. So before that, let me list the service. So docker service ls. So these are the services that is created. So why we need service? Because here we have two replica, okay, of this service. So I don't need that service anymore. I can just write docker service rm and then the name of the service. Okay, so it is going to delete the underlying containers as well. So the management becomes easy, right? We don't have to, we can also do, like, we can create the multiple containers one by one on the different nodes, right? But that is a difficult thing to manage. If you want to create more than 10, 12, or 100 replicas, in that case that is very difficult to manage. That's why we have a service that is going to it is a collection of tasks that you want. And in other way, you can say service is to run multiple instances of a same application, you can use service. And in docker swarm, the main thing is actually service. Okay, we have another one that is docker compose, so that we will learn in the next session. And docker compose is a contains multiple service, and you can run multiple service at the same time. Means you just have to use one command, that is docker compose up, and it will uh, initiate, or it will create all the services that you have defined in that Docker Compose file. Okay, so you don't have to, you have to just write that Docker Compose file, nothing that you have to just Docker Compose up, and it will create all the services that you have mentioned, and whatever the replica volumes or whatever the flags you have used in the service. Okay, and volumes, mounts, all will be created at this once. So that depends. That is the responsibility of Docker daemon. Okay, and your responsibility is to write the Docker Compose file. That's it. So the Docker Compose file is actually, I think, it's a service example. So that we will discuss in the next session. So here we have manage the services. To list it, we have a Docker service ls, and to remove it, we have a Docker service rm. And the same way, if you want more things what we can do with the service, you can use Docker -help. So we have already used create, but we have not used inspect. So inspect is work as the same way we have inspect the volumes on or other object that we have in Docker. So if I want to inspect this my new service, so it is not service actually, due to typo I have just written the wrong things. So this is the rollback config endpoint specification. Okay, this is the ID and this is the version when it is created. And a good thing is, this is in JSON format, but we have one command that is going to inspect it and give it output in a human readable form or YAML file. So if I run Docker service or just scroll up, and after inspect, you have to just use pretty flag, so it will give it output in very human readable form. So here you can see ID, and this is the name, this is the service mode that is replicated. We have two replicas. Okay, on failure, pause. So we can give also on failure, what should this Docker daemon do if your service got failed or something. Okay, and we can also give rollback configuration, but those are not given. And here you can see the environment variable that I have given, okay, while creating the service. Okay, and again we have a service, and if we want to scale up, okay, so right now we have 2 out of 2 replica is running of this service, and I want to change it to 4 or 5. Okay, so there is two way to update the replica. One is Docker service update. Okay, and then you can give replicas, let's say go to 5. Okay, and at the end you have to give the name of the service. So my new service. Okay, so it will just create new 3 new task, and it is going to distribute it to the different nodes. So where it is distributed, you can use this Docker service ps. So these are the new one. So these 3 are new. You can see 17 seconds ago, 19, 18. So these are the three new instances that is running of this service. So we have a scale up, and the same way we can scale down as well. So I will use the different command. So you can actually use Docker service, and then if let me just use Docker help. So here we have used create, inspect. We haven't used logs, ls we have used, ps used, rm, and we can also roll back to the changes that we have, like it is used when we have a different version of deployment. So right now we have a version of called nginx.latest colon latest, and uh, we just created a new some advancement in your enhancement in your application, and it is a version 2, and you want to roll it out. So you are going to create a new service, and then if something happened to that service, you can just roll back using this rollback option. Okay, and this is the scale. So now I am going to and update. We have just shown update over here, Docker service update. And if you want to know more about like what we can do with the Docker service update, what things we can update, you can use again Docker service update and help. And here you can see these many things you can do with the update. Okay, so what we have used is hyphen hyphen replica, so it should be over here somewhere. Okay, hyphen hyphen replicas, number of tasks we want to increase or decrease. So now I am going to use this one. So I am going to use this scale part. Okay, so Docker service scale, and I need the name of the service. So my new service, and here I have to use equal sign. So I want 3 replica, so I want to just scale down my service. So those 2 containers will be removed or deleted. So using this two way, you can scale up or scale down your service. So this is related to service. I think we have covered all that is related to service. So now if I use Docker service ps and my new service, you can see now we have only 3. So the 2 tasks that has been deleted, so we don't have to worry about that. It actually managed by Docker Swarm. Okay, so we have to just need how many replica we want. Okay, so that's called desired state configuration. Okay, DSC. So any question till now? I think this is a good thing. Can we go ahead and use that volume part, or we can do it tomorrow? Because I think it is there are multiple commands that I have gone through. So we can do one thing. Tomorrow I can give some scenario once again. Okay, and then you can, and at the last we can just go through that volume part, means how to manage volumes. Like here we have created this service, right? And if I have mounted any volume to this service, just assume like this this node, I have just created that volume on 1c. Okay, and I have mounted to the service. So when this task is assigned to this node 3c, there is no any volume. Okay, because we have created that volume over here. So in that case, how this the new instance that is running on this node will be access the data. Okay, so in how we will do that, I will explain tomorrow.
So we can do it by network or link. I mean, I'm not sure. Just asking about.
No, no, using network we cannot, because the volume and network is different part, right? Let's see. I have one Docker. If I use Docker volume ls, so there is no volume. So if I create any volume over here, okay, Docker volume create and my volume. Okay, so I have created this volume on this node, right? So I can use this volume on this node only. So whatever the container I create or a service, like I have created a service. So we don't have the control on which node I can run the task on of that service, right? It might run on this 1C, it might be on the 2C. It depends. Okay, so I cannot see this access this volume from here. Okay, so if I run this command docker volume ls, there is no volume. So either I should create the volumes over here as well, the same with the same name. Okay, that will work. But that is again if I have more than 10 worker nodes on my in my cluster, so I have to create that volumes on each node, right? So that is a tedious work once again. So how we will manage it, and how we can do a automation so that it can be created by its own. So whenever a new service or a task of any service is assigned to a new node, it will be created automatically. And in service, just one more thing I just forgot. So we have one more thing that is called global. Okay, so till now we have specify how many replica I want, right? But we have one more thing, that is docker service create hyphen hyphen name. So like this is my new nginx service. Okay, and I can use this mode global. Okay, so what does it mean? So I'm not going to give any replica over here, right? I haven't given a replica flag. So still if I hit enter, let's see what happens. So again, I have not given any replica, right, flag. So how it is created? It has created three tasks of this service. Okay.
Does it,
So how it
I mean,
works?
depending on the node availability? I mean, you have given global.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so global means this service will be distributed globally. Okay, means how many worker nodes available or active. It is going to create a one task on each node. Okay, in the cluster. So if you have a four node cluster, this if you use this mode global, it will going to create a four service task, four tasks. And if you have a five node cluster, it will create five tasks, means each task on each node. Okay, so if I do docker service and then ps my new, so here you can see one is on 2c, one is 3c, on one is 1c. Okay, so it is equally distributed on all nodes. And mainly it is like one container per node, so on each node I can say. Okay, so if in any scenario where you want a task of a service that should run on each node, you can use this mode global. Okay, so any question, or shall we wrap up this session?
Sir, the same is while we creating volume. When we use hyphen hyphen mode global, then in all the worker nodes, the volume will be created. Is it like that?
No, this flag is only for service.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so volume is not getting created on all nodes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, the other thing is, tomorrow I will show you, but let me just brief you about it. So we will create a service in a such a way that we are going to define all the uh, related things that is needed for create a volume. We are going to give those information while creating the service. Okay, so whatever the information needed to create a volume, we are going to give it in the service, right? So whenever a new task is getting assigned to a new node, it will automatically first create a volume and then it will utilize that volume. Okay, so how the command is, and that we will discuss tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so I think again I will say in the next, just be available for next two session only, and then it is finished. So we have Docker Compose next and networking. That's it. I'm not going to go much deep about this Docker now, because Docker Enterprise and Docker UCP that I was going to show you, but that is I think not useful now, because uh, we are going to move to the Kubernetes. Okay, so that is not helpful now. Okay, so
For this, I got a question. So if you have time, we can.
yes,
Yes, sir. I was just looking after the this Docker log topic. I mean, we have command like Docker logs followed by
yes,
the container
Docker log, right?
logs. Yes.
Yes.
So the default log is like, I mean, what I learned, like, it is the JSON format file what we get. Okay. And
Mm,
hmm,
so actually, we have to give a container name while
yes,
using this
no
Docker
problem.
log.
We can give a container name or the container ID as well.
Yes. So
Both will
let
work.
me do Docker PS.
Hmm.
So here, these are the Nginx container. Okay. So
Hmm.
if I use this container, you will see there is no logs getting generated. So Docker logs. See, there is no logs.
So either you have disabled the log or you have used.
No, I haven't disabled any logs. Actually, uh, if you use this Docker logs, it
Mhm.
will give a output of this container. So, you know, like here, if I use Docker, okay, and Docker run -d, and let's say I want to run Ubuntu container, or let's say Nginx, but here I want to cat the data of where live, and then sorry, var // html. No, I think for nginx, okay, instead of that, let's do this thing, ls. Okay, so if I hit enter, no nginx. Okay, so this is the new container, right? So now if I just do docker ps, there is a new container. So docker run -d nginx, it is up 6 minutes ago. No, this is not. Okay, so let me do docker ps, sorry, docker logs, and f. So here you can see this is actually container. Okay, but I actually I don't know why it is not listing over here. Okay, why it is not listing? Because Docker ps it is
Yes,
exited. Okay,
I think yes,
because
yes. Got
yes, because I have run this command ls slash, so it will display all the data, all the directory over here on the root, right? So it is just run this command and exited, right? So now if I do docker logs and then F, you can see the output. So mostly whatever the output uh, of your container, that is listed up your docker logs. So if your container is having some logs that is getting generated, that you can see over here. So
What
we have a
what is
container.
what is F? I mean, after logs you suffix. I mean, you gave F. What is that F? That
Actually, this is the way. If you have a container, you can actually write one keyword.
the
Okay.
first character. Okay.
Yes. So if here you can see there is no container starts with F. Okay. So I have just given F. So it will automatically define this container.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
If there is more containers start with F, then I have to give another one, another letter you can say. Okay. So here we have two containers start with V, then I have to give BC or B1, then it will define like to which container I want to talk or I want to list whatever I want. Okay. So here if I again let me show you Docker inspect, and if I give B over here. Okay. So let me see. Yes. So if I do B, it is going to output the both one, I think. So here let me do docker ps. So okay, actually only one container here. I think I was able to see two containers. So there is no container start with B. So is there any container that start with the same letter? I don't think anyone. No. So, if there are multiple, then yeah, you have to give the two letters. Otherwise, if there is only one container that start with that letter, you can just give that one single letter and it will work. Okay. And if you want to see more, so I will just run one thing, Docker run, and then I have this Docker registry 2. So this is the image to create a registry, and this image actually logs some data. Okay, so these are the logs. Okay, and problem here is I haven't given the hyphen D, so it is stuck. Okay, so let me do Control C, and now if I run this Docker logs, and then the name of this let me check the id or name. So id is 32, so docker logs, let's say 3. So this is the logs. So it depends actually upon your image how it is created. Okay, so if your image throws some logs, then it will be generated, and you can see using docker logs, else you cannot. Okay, like nginx container don't throw any error. So again, when actually these containers have no logs because there is no issue. If you give something wrong while running your container, it will probably send you some it will throw some errors, and those errors will be logged as a uh, logs. Okay, so if I just run this mysql, okay, let me run it in hyphen d. So now you can understand docker hyphen d mysql. Okay, and now I will get some error over here. So just let me extract it. So here you will see this container is created. Okay, but if I do docker ps hyphen a or docker ps, you cannot see that container over here. It means it is not running. Okay, so I will do docker ps hyphen a, and here you can see it is exited, and here we cannot see any detail, right? So what should I do in this case? I can log check the log. So docker logs, and I want to check the log of 8. So here you can see error response from daemon, multiple IDs found with the provided prefix. Okay. So now I have to give the second one, second letter, that is 6. So here you can see the logs. Started switching to dedicated user MySQL entry point script. Database is uninitialized and password option is not specified. You need to specify one of the. So whenever your container is in exited mode, or you have just created a container and it is not running, okay, it is not able to run, so at that case, you can use this Docker logs, and definitely you will get something, some error or something that will give you some knowledge about like what is wrong. Like here you can see it is saying you need to specify one of MySQL root password, myallow empty password, and my random root password. So I this is the mandatory one. So while creating container, I have to give this environment variable some data. Okay, like I have to give this MySQL root password. So this is the environment variable. So I hope you got the answer.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Actually, my concern was I mean, the default log format is in JSON. I mean, what I learned from Katakoda, and we can change it to syslog. So why is it so? I mean, why do we need to change the log?
Got it. Okay. No, I actually, yes, there are. It depends upon you. Which actually those are called drivers. Okay,
Yes,
log
yes.
driver. So which log drivers you want to use? By default, I think it is syslog. Okay, and let me. I
No,
think
no. By,
if I
by
do,
default, it didn't say the syslog. Something like JSON or something like that.
yeah, by default, I think JSON. I think right. So you can see over here. If I do Docker info, it will show the error logs. You can see here.
So it
So
is
these are the
AWS
plugins.
log.
So yes, it depends upon you which one you want to use. If you want to use Splunk or syslog, if you so that thing, while creating the container, you can specify the log label.
And
Sorry, log,
what is the
and then the label.
what is the default log label, or it depends on
Default is
default
info.
log? Sorry,
Default is info.
info.
Yes, default log label is info, and
Mhm.
default log driver is, I think, local. And if you want
Oh,
to change it, you can change it to syslog. And if you have a Splunk and you want to write logs to your Splunk, you have to give driver as a Splunk, and then you have to give some more details about Splunk, like where is the your server, and where is your the password and the username. Those things you have to give if you are using Splunk. Okay,
okay.
so for these things, you have to go through the specific documentation, like Splunk. So you can search it on Google, and you can set up. Okay, but by default it is local, and we can change. This is the that comes with the operating system, and this one as well, journal D. Okay, so these two you can give, but for Splunk you have to install, I think, plugins or something. Okay, then you
Okay.
can work with the Splunk. Okay, sorry, actually I got something different. I thought you are talking about that Docker logs. Anything else?
No, sir. We
Okay.
can wait. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.